ladies out there. When we're not on the job and we still want to wear makeup at home, but we don't want to touch the expensive stuff like the Laura Mercier or the whatever it is, the MAC Cosmetics, you don't want to touch that stuff because this is just makeup that you're looking good for in front of people that walk in front of your house every single day. Which means it could be your mom, your dad, your husband, your kids, those type of people, right? But because they see that you do YouTube and they want to see you with the same thing at home when you're not doing it for the camera or for the likes, this is a makeup kit that you can wear at home that is not for the cameras or for the likes. Okay? So this is a full face sponsored by Viva Color and Dollarama. So this is a full face of everything Viva Color, Dollarama. However, one product not Viva Color. This is the Milani lipstick, and this is in the shade 310 Peony. So that's one of the products I'll be using at the very end. I will be mixing because this foundation is not my exact skin tone. I will be mixing it in with this foundation, which is the CoverGirl Clean 165 Tawny Liquid Foundation, which is my skin tone, but I want to be able to blend this in order to make it a little bit lighter, because this one tends to run a little bit deep dark on my skin. So this is a good mixing medium foundation in order to help blend to make foundations like these even lighter. So I have that, and then to set my entire face I use this from Viva. This is the Viva Color Bronzer, and this is in shade either 03 or shade 10. I'm not quite sure which one this is, but this one is either shade 03 or shade 10, and I believe this is shade 10. And then to do a little bit of color contour, we have the Viva Blush and the Viva Bronze. This is the Viva Bronzer Dual, and as you can see, there is a huge difference between the Viva Bronzer Dual and the Viva Bronzer. This is the Viva Bronzer, this is the Viva Bronzer Dual. They're absolutely not the same color. This is the deep dark, this is the medium deep. And here you have the cherry, the blush. So this is the bronzer that I will be using to set my under eye as well as my full face. And this is the blush and bronzer duo that I will be using to contour my face with. Alright? And then I will be going in with this eyeshadow palette right here from Viva Color. And these are mostly rose undertones eyeshadow palette from Viva Color. Now, I'm going to warn you that this Viva Color brand can look a little powdery, and it does take a couple hours for it to settle on the skin when the look is complete. This Viva brand can and will make your skin look powdery when it's complete, but after a couple of hours, it will settle on your skin, it will relax to your body temperature, and it will absolutely bring out a beautiful hue on your skin after a good couple of hours. I have so far worn this Viva Color set for the most 5 hours, a good 5 hours at home before I feel the need to wash it off. Okay? So first I'm going to go in with Tawny from CoverGirl. So, I'm gonna go in with Tawny from CoverGirl, and I am going to put it on the lid where I keep my brushes currently. It changes all the time, so this is not where I keep my brushes on a permanent basis, but it changes all the time. So that is CoverGirl Tawny, and this is the Viva color. And this is shade 03, by the way. This is Viva color, shade 03. And as you can see, it's not very far off from Tawny. That's Viva color 03, and that's Tawny. So it's not very far off, but because it's still too light for my skin tone, I would just rather use it as a mixing medium in order to create another shade with it. So let's blend it together and see what shade we get. With the Viva color, you have to move pretty quickly. So because I mixed it with the shade Tawny, I am moving very, very quickly. Otherwise, it will sit right on the skin and be very, very hard to blend. Very, very difficult to blend out. So that's why I am moving very quickly with it to blend it out on my skin. Okay. So you can tell that the foundation is a little bit on the patchy side. Just take your time with it. This foundation, especially the Viva color one, takes a very, very long time to blend out because it is really thick. Yeah, it's a really, really thick foundation, so it takes a very, very long time to blend out into the skin in order to make the skin look really nice and smooth. Alright, and then I'm going to blend it on my eye as a base. Viva color doesn't have a concealer. There wasn't a concealer when I went, so I'm saying right now that they don't have a concealer. Alright, so now going in with this, and I am going to go in with a much smaller brush to set my under eye first with the Viva color bronzer, the full one. Going in with this and a small brush and setting my eye in a round circular motion. Okay. And everywhere I'm putting this is where I would naturally put my concealer first if I had used concealer. So if I had to use concealer in these areas after the foundation, I'm setting those areas to make sure that they're not affected the next time I place concealer there because I didn't use concealer with this product. So everywhere that I naturally place concealer, I'm placing the bronzer powder. Now taking the same powder, however, and a much larger brush, you're going to see how the powder changes tones based off of where you place it on the skin, therefore allowing it to become a setting powder. So you can see that that's my under eye and that's it as a setting powder. Completely different. And it's the same powder that I'm using. Just a few tips and tricks that I've learned from Tom Ford as to how to make it look like you're wearing a concealer but you're not. It's just a few tricks that I've learned from experts that are much larger than myself in the makeup community. And so it looks like I'm wearing concealer, but I'm not. Alright, so now going in with an angular brush, I'm going to go into the blush side because I want the contour side to be much smaller. So going in with the brush and dipping in to the blush, okay, and just placing the blush right at the high points of my cheeks. Now I'm putting it under my eye because I want it to seem like I've added eyeshadow there, but I have not. Another trick taught to me by Tom Ford, because I don't like going under my eye like some of you gurus do, because my eyes get very, very watery very, very easily. My under eye is very, very sensitive, gets very, very water very, very easily, and so I can't go under there with that pencil brush. I can't go under my under eyes with the pencil brush, so I normally use a highlighter or a blush in order to accomplish the job, to make it look as though I'm wearing eyeshadow underneath my eye. And that's how I do that. And then going in with this brush here and going in with the contour part, going in with the contour part, okay, we're going to carve out the cheekbones, just like so. So, if this were a visible tour date for me, he's rushing me because he's telling me that it's time for us to leave. He's rushing me. He's given me time to clean up before we leave the house, of which I've done. He's given me time to have a shower, but now he's telling me that it's time for us to go, and I'm literally rushing to put this look together. But I'm almost done. I'm almost done. So sometimes with that, I would end up having to leave with no eyeshadow. I would end up having to leave with no eyeshadow. So how would you do that? Just take one small eyeshadow palette, okay? How would you leave the house with not doing a full on 3-step eyeshadow system or a full on 10-step eyeshadow system. Just use one eyeshadow because he's really pushing my buttons and telling my ass that we gotta leave in order to get to this show because he wants to drop me, but because he has somewhere else to go, he's gonna let me take the bus home. He's gonna let me take the city bus home, but he's going to drop me to the location so that I can get there on time. And I end up taking the city bus home. And I'm not gonna be riding on the city bus in a full-on couture gown costume. I'm gonna be riding the city bus in my everyday clothes. So if this were summertime, I'd be wearing something just a little bit like this. I'd only carry a jeans jacket with me in order to cover up so that I'm not too exposed in order to show my task for the day, who I am, what I'm being, and what I'm doing. So I just wear a denim jacket over this to cover up. But quickly finishing off because he's rushing me. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Volume Mascara, and this is in the shade. This is in the shade Very Black. This is in the shade Very Black. He's literally pulling the garage door open and telling me that he is literally out the door ready to drive off. So, which means I gotta move at least 10 minutes earlier in order to get this done. 10 minutes earlier. So, I'm going to, because I don't have time to wait for this to dry and I don't want to go in the car with that black mascara. I'm just going to take the foundation brush and cover that foundation with it. Now, you can see what it will look like later on, but it's very powdery right now. Very powdery. In about 2 hours time, this won't be so powdery. It's absolutely very powdery, but if you let it sit on the skin just for a couple of hours, it won't be so powdery. Anyways, going in with this lip color from Viva, and it has absolutely no shade on it, which irritates me when it has no shade name. Whenever a lipstick brand has no shade name, it irritates me. Any makeup product that has no shade name irritates the heck out of me. So, he's out the door, but I either gotta wait now until I get to the place, or I'm in the car, probably preferably get to the place in order to apply the lipstick. But I'll bring a lip gloss with me so that I can apply the lip gloss in the car. So that my lips don't look so, well, like that. Alright? But if I give myself at least 10 minutes more beforehand, I'm able to get this done without him pushing and rushing me to get it done. So now I'm going in with the Milani lipstick in the shade 310 Peony. And because I don't want the lipstick to drag, I'm going to dab on the lipstick. I'm going to dab on the lipstick until I get it where I want it to be. dab on the lipstick until I get it where I want it. And then taking whatever is left over from that bronzer powder and blending it in to the skin. And covering up the lines of demarcation from the lipstick. And with that being said, that has been how to put makeup on at home and you are not doing anything for the beauty community out there. You're just at home putting on some makeup because the people in your home life want to see you at home with makeup on because it's what you do for your job. So give them what they're asking for, but give it to them on a low budget. And this is a full set of makeup except for this. This is the only thing that would carry this makeup over budget because this is $20 at Joe Fresh. Everything together from Dollarama except for this and this, these two. This is $17.99 at Joe Fresh. I don't know why, but it's $17.99. This is $20 at Joe Fresh. Everything else that I've used that is Viva Color is $20 Dollarama. $20 Dollarama. So foundation, okay? Then you have the Viva Color bronzer. Then you have the Viva Color Duo bronzer and blush. Then you have the eyeshadow. Then you have, this is not Viva Color, but this is Dollarama. This is from Wet n Wild. Then you have the liquid lip. All of this is Dollarama at $20. These two together is $40, which will bring this look to about a complete total of $75. Due to the fact, because of these two products alone will bring this entire face full of at-home makeup to the price point of $75. $75. But without these two, price point with just these products would be $15. Price point with just Viva Color and the products that I have here would be literally $15. But because I've added these two in order to bring the look to a full completion, it is $75. Foundation CoverGirl Joe Fresh $20. The Milani lipstick Joe Fresh $17.99. So that brings the look, the total complete look to that of $75. Anyways, with that being said, that is how to get the look at home without spending the high cost in order to get the look, therefore burning through your budget makeup and not using makeup that does not have to be budgeted for. This is what I would call a leftover funding makeup. So you've already budgeted for your YouTube channel. This is what you would use after you budgeted, and this is your leftover budgeting funding makeup in order to let your family see what you do on the day-to-day basis in order to get a little extra bank in the account, if you know what I'm talking about. Just get a little extra bank by putting on a little bit of face and letting Sugar Daddy give you a little cash on the side because you gave him a little extra at-home face, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, with that being said, that has been it for this video. Thank you so much to Viva Color for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now. One more video, and then